Trump made light of the debacle in a tweet that said Democrats wanted to give me a nice present to mark the start of his second year in office. It's like a 2-year-old temper tantrum, Short told reporters at the White House, where there was a growing sense that the shutdown won't be quickly resolved. Democrats have insisted they would back legislation reopening government once there's a bipartisan agreement to preserve protections against deporting about 700,000 immigrants known as Dreamers who arrived in the U.S. illegally as children. Each party believes it has a winning political hand, and the day's first words by party leaders underscored that, so far, neither side believes it is time to give ground. The American people cannot begin to understand why the Senate Democratic leader thinks the entire government should be shut down until he gets his way on illegal immigration, McConnell said. Negotiating with President Trump is like negotiating with Jell-O, Schumer said. Although the House and Senate were in session Saturday, it was unclear whether lawmakers would take any votes of consequence. Democrats said they oppose the 3-week plan, viewing it as a way to stall negotiations over the future of the Dreamers, whose protections expire in March. Republicans declared they would not reopen talks until the government shutdown ends, a strategy aimed at trying to erode Democratic cohesion. House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi of California said Trump had earned an F for failure in leadership. She said Republicans are so incompetent and negligent that they couldn't get it together to keep the government open. The fourth government shutdown in a quarter-century began at the stroke of midnight at the start of a weekend, so many of the immediate effects will be muted for most Americans. Political damage could grow quickly if the closure is prolonged. Both parties are wagering that voters will punish the other at the ballot box in November. Democrats are laying fault on Republicans, who control both chambers of Congress and the White House and have struggled with building internal consensus. Republicans branded the confrontation a Schumer shutdown. The senator assembled enough Democratic opposition to kill the House-passed bill. Trump said Democrats could have easily made a deal but decided to play shutdown politics instead. In a series of tweets hours after the shutdown began, the president tried to make the case for Americans to elect more Republicans to Congress in November in order to power through this mess. He noted that there are 51 Republicans in the 100-member Senate, and it often takes 60 votes to advance legislation. The last shutdown came in 2013. Tea Party Republicans, in a strategy not unlike the one Schumer is employing now, sought to use a must-pass budget bill to try to force President Barack Obama to delay implementation of his health care law. At the time, Trump told Fox and Friends that the ultimate blame for a shutdown lies at the top. "I really think the pressure is on the president," he said. Associated Press writers Jill Colvin, Richard Lardner, Matthew Daley, and Catherine Lucy in Washington and Jonathan Lemire in New York contributed to this report.